Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I'm Vanessa, and if you're coming back, welcome. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I wanted to film you a video outside and I hope you can hear me. I'm gonna speak up just because lately I haven't been able to film during the day and my ideas have come at night, so I just wanted to make sure you get a little bit of light with me today. And also, if it's getting dark while I'm talking, apologies, but it's not about how I look like or how it looks like. Just listen, okay? I wanted to answer a question from one of you guys today that seemed really urgent to address, so that's what I'm gonna do today. And it's all about what to do when you cannot remember your childhood. So I'm gonna read out the question out loud. I hope that's okay for the person, but I'm not gonna say the name. So whenever you want me to answer something, just drop it in the comments below, and I promise I will not share your name. Okay, the question goes as follows. Can you do a video on finding the lost memories of childhood? What else did they say? I'm really struggling trying to make sense of things. My childhood has always been a blurry picture and have no real memories. I'm currently smoking a lot of drugs and I can't seem to stop. I feel I've got a split personality at times, yet I really want to get out of it, but I feel like I'm going crazy. Okay, sorry. I don't have my glasses on. Oh, they're on my head. Okay, whatever. So basically it's all about, and I know that a lot of you are dealing with this idea of you cannot remember parts of your childhood or your childhood. And as you cannot remember it, it may sometimes feel hard to connect to, any pain that you may have around your childhood, but not knowing, how to address it or access it. So the first thing is, I'm so sorry you're dealing with this. This is hard. And whoever asked the question, thank you so much, because you're asking it for so many. And the thing is here that our brain wants to keep us safe. So if you cannot remember parts of your childhood, it's not always the case, but it can be that, those parts have been very difficult for you, no matter if they have been actually traumatizing and difficult, or if it appeared to you to be traumatizing and difficult. Excuse me. Depending on how sensitive you are, that also plays into it, right? And as I mentioned in so many of our videos, as a child you see the world in black and white, so you cannot actually differentiate perspective and nuance, so for you it means either somebody showed up or doesn't show up. So but if we have like addictions and big problems in life in terms of not feeling free, not feeling able to go for what we want, not feeling empowered or confident, we have a low self-esteem, and a low level of deservingness and seeing our value and breaking free from what's holding us back, then it's often a sign that there has been quite a bit of trauma in childhood. And whatever this is for you, it's absolutely valid. And that's why we sometimes, like they wrote in the question, sometimes struggle with addictions and struggle with, distractions and numbing behavior. And that's no judgment, obviously, on you or whoever is dealing with that. I'm sorry you're dealing with that, and I'm sure you've tried to get out of it. But in that case, often it is that the addiction is actually you trying to find a solution for the wound or for the pain that you're holding inside. Yeah, because maybe when you're sober, you feel all that pain and you don't even know where it comes from or how to access it, but you just feel that pain and you want to get out of it. So you found a solution that is obviously not a real solution, yeah, but you found something to numb yourself. So, but that also means that, like you found something to numb, that means the addiction is not the actual issue. The actual issue is the underlying pain that you're trying to find a solution for. Yeah, obviously addiction can also bring problems with it, like health problems, relationship problems, financial problems, whatever. But the underlying problem that needs to be addressed in order for the addiction to successfully go is definitely the underlying pain. Now, often the problem is when we cannot remember, then we don't feel safe to remember. So the first thing you need to do is create for yourself a safe environment, that you feel actually stable in your present, or as stable as possible in your present. So let's say you have a stable home, you have in your home, you feel home, you feel cozy to some degree, you feel safe, yeah. And if you are at the moment in a situation where you are in any kind of physical, mental, emotional abuse, please get yourself out of that, ask for help, find online the local number of your health help services, because they are SOS services for that, for men, for women, for everybody, and get yourself out of this. Yeah, nobody deserves abuse. Okay, that's a side disclaimer that I need to mention. What I also need to mention is I am not a licensed psychologist. I do have my education and certificates and all that, but on the alternative front. So that's why I'm also needing to say this is not from a clinical standpoint. Okay, so if you feel like you need clinical help, please go get clinical help. Now, if we cannot remember what happened in childhood, we need to create that safe environment first in our present. Maybe you even have a friend that you can talk to and have like who is there for you. And obviously our friends cannot hold all that heavy trauma that we may carry within us. That's why it's important to either work with an alternative practitioner or psychologist, or any other group, like a 12-step program, or like group breathwork or anything like that, to help you talk about it, process. There's so many help groups out there, also online. You can even, like, if you're dealing with this issue that you cannot remember, or that you feel like you have an addiction base because you feel like something happened in your childhood, just write it in the comments below. Start sharing with people, because then you will not feel as alone. You feel less alone when somebody reads your comment and says, oh wow, this happens to me too, or this is difficult, and suddenly you have people with you that you're not alone. So that's really important. And after you created at least a semi-safe environment, as safe as possible in your present, then your nervous system will actually give you the chance to slowly open up and start remembering things. But it depends really on how closed you are. And when I say closed, I really mean how protective you are of your heart, of your memories, and this is really your brain trying to protect you. So try not to force yourself to get there, because the more you use force and the more you use self-punishment, where you may be saying, oh, I'm stupid, I cannot remember, I can't get there, this is really counterproductive. The more softness you can bring to yourself, the more compassion you can bring to yourself, you can even maybe feel into your body and feel, where do I feel this contraction? Yeah, where do I feel the pain in my body of what may have happened to me? Maybe I don't have the memory, yeah, but I may feel like there is pain within me. And maybe in the beginning you cannot locate the pain in your body, specifically in any place, but maybe you feel, oh yeah, I've carried pain in my body. Maybe I carry held emotions. Maybe you can name an emotion, yeah? And I always say Google wheel of emotions, because sometimes, when you're just starting with this work, you may not know about naming an emotion. Sometimes people are not used to working with the emotions. So they say, oh, I'm good, or I'm not so good. So we want to go more specific. The more specific we can go, the more you understand yourself. So if you Google wheel of emotions, you can find this wheel, and you can look through the names of the emotions and find one that where you feel like, I think that's it, you know. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2, maybe it's 3, and write them down. Yeah. And then see if you can connect to the emotion. Maybe it's sadness, maybe it's grief, maybe it's anger, maybe it's frustration, and then see, maybe I can feel it somewhere in my body. Take a few breaths and then see, oh, I feel it in my stomach, or I feel it in my head, or I feel it in my throat, wherever. Yeah. And then send more breaths into that. And especially if we have no memory, sometimes it's the best if you're not trying to get somewhere. Like I said, don't force. But when you actually imagine you're sitting next to a wall, you know, you feel that wherever it is in your body, I'm just going to say in the throat, just for the example's sake, it can be anywhere. Then you breathe slowly and feel your throat. Maybe put a hand there if that helps you. And then you can say to that place, that part that maybe hides the memories, you can say, hey, thank you for keeping me safe. Okay, start with that. Start developing compassion for that part of you that tried to shield you from maybe pain that you couldn't have taken at the time. You know what I mean? Sometimes as children or growing up, that's why a lot of people who went through an accident or through traumatic experiences, you cannot remember because your brain just tries to keep you safe. And that's needs to be acknowledged because it's an act of love. And, you know, it's probably for you to not, you know, for you to survive, even if it's not in the drastical physical way to survive, like for your mind and for your emotions. That's simply for your being to somehow pull through, right? And then for the rest to be processed later on. And if you don't have support to process something later on, still when you're a child or a teenager, then I think this contraction, so this memory loss, gets stronger and stronger. Because, you know, there's also a level of avoidance of the pain and what we've been through. So as an adult, it's a little harder to access. So that's why I'm saying, give yourself some grace, give yourself some time, and always act from softness and compassion with yourself. It's a great opportunity to practice compassion with yourself. And what you can really do is go inside, like I just started the exercise with you, you know, like name the emotion that you may be feeling. Maybe you cannot name it, it's okay. Maybe you can locate where you feel that pain or that difficulty in, maybe it's pain, maybe it's shame, maybe it's anger, maybe it's sadness, whatever it is in your body. Maybe you will be able to locate it, and maybe not. And again, there's no have to. You get there when the time is right. And maybe you can locate it. And then you can put a hand there. And even if you cannot locate it anywhere in your body, even if you don't know what's the name of the emotion that you're feeling, you can put your hand on your chest. Then once you have the hand on your heart, close your eyes down or lower your gaze, whatever feels safer to you. And take a deep breath in through your nose. Make sure you breathe into your body, into your belly, and out through the mouth. And you can do this a few times. And then just imagine, with closed eyes or with the lowered gaze, whatever feels safer, just imagine you're sitting on the side, leaning against a wall. With your side body, you're leaning against a wall. And just tell that wall, hey, thank you so much for keeping me safe all those years. Thank you so much for trying to protect me when I didn't know how else I could protect myself. And maybe tell the wall anything that comes up spontaneously from your instinct, from your intuition. Maybe you have to cry or laugh or whatever. Any emotions that come up are valid as long as you don't harm yourself or don't harm anybody else. But feeling is all valid. And then just tell the wall, listen, I'm here. I want to know you whenever you're ready. I'm here. I want to know you whenever you're ready. I'm just going to wait here for you to be ready. Yeah? And that kind of tells your inner child, this kind of like inner part of you that may not want to open up, that contraction you feel in your body, that pain you may feel, that you may try to numb. You're telling that part of you that is in pain, hey, I'm here now. Yeah? I'm here and I'm willing to listen whenever you feel like you are open to open up to me. Yeah? And give yourself time, okay? Because your body, your mind need to maybe a little bit of time to feel safe. Because if you took so long, like many years, and again, that's no judgment, that you couldn't access, or you didn't even know that there was something to access, maybe you didn't even know where your pain came from, and that's all okay, that's all valid. And now may be the time for you to, face it. And also be aware that you don't need to face it alone. You can work on it with, all the different options that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. A psychologist, some kind of therapist, or alternative practitioner. You can work on it with a group, like a 12-step program of any kind, with a group who does breathwork or something like that. If you don't feel safe to do that by yourself, it's completely understandable, because what we don't feel safe with is often the emotions, and especially the physical sensations that we may feel, because you may have suppressed so much of your feelings that you are in a state of freeze, or in a state of numbing, or in a state of constant distraction. And again, no judgment. I'm just sharing with you what may be. Yeah, so take from it what resonates, and leave the rest for somebody else. But yeah, it can be that you are in a state where you need to learn first again emotions can feel a little intense. They create a sensation in my body that may feel a little tingling, or they may feel a little bit of, aching or painful a little bit, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong to feel them. It's just you may have accumulated so much held emotions that it may feel a little bit challenging for you to access it by yourself. Okay, so that's why I'm saying maybe you want to find a group, maybe you want to find a practitioner that you want to work with. The person who left the question for us also said that they feel like maybe they're going crazy. I think it's quite normal to feel that, because you may be a very sensitive person and you're feeling all these things, but yet you cannot access what happened within you in a certain situation in the past. So that can sometimes create a sense of destabilization, or a sense of nobody understands me, maybe nobody believes me, and I don't even understand myself, right? On top of that, you need to also know that we're at the moment in very unstable times collectively, right? We are also energetically changing the footprint, of energy on Earth, basically. So that may contribute to you feeling like a lot of energy is coming up right now, and that may feel destabilizing on top of you not feeling so stable in who you are, because maybe you're missing information. Yeah. So just know that I don't believe that you're going crazy. I just believe that you feel a lot, and that so much is happening within you, and you deserve support. And so please ask for support and help. And sometimes that may even, when we have those difficult situations where we don't remember much in our childhood and our past, it may be that, the person in the question also said, like, they feel like sometimes their personality is divergent. Sometimes we dissociate from certain things in our life because it may have felt very difficult. Yeah, so just don't give up on yourself, I want to say, because even though you cannot access the memory, you can access the feeling. Excuse me. And with the feeling, you can do a lot. Yeah. So don't worry, don't punish yourself that you don't know what exactly happens, that you cannot access a memory. It really doesn't matter. You can, in fact, access the emotion. And that may also take some time to access the emotion. But try this little technique that I told you, try to name the emotion that you may be feeling. Try to locate it in your body, or just acknowledge that you feel something. And maybe imagine, if you can imagine that place in your body where you feel it, just imagine you're sitting in front of that wall and just reassuring that wall and telling that wall, hey, I'm here whenever you're ready to open up. And sometimes the floodgates may open up, yeah, and sometimes it takes a little longer, but please don't give up on yourself. Yeah, the healing is available even in the darkest of places. And trust me, I've been in very dark places myself. And everybody on earth goes through something. You're not alone. Please don't think you are alone because you are not with physical people right now, or you don't have friends right now, or you don't have a physical support system. If you need support, if you want to share with people, if you want to feel less alone, you can find people on the internet, in support groups. Make an effort for yourself because you deserve it. Even if maybe nobody told you in a long time, or maybe nobody told you ever, but trust me, you deserve love and connection and peace. And sometimes we need to go out there and take action ourselves and be self-responsible. Yeah, even if you have ever been a victim of something in your life, you're not, don't treat yourself as that victim forever. And I mean this from love. I don't mean this from judgment at all. Because sometimes we get stuck in a certain narrative that doesn't serve us. Yeah? And then it's us who needs to break out of it. It's us who needs to decide, I'm worthy of living a life that I enjoy. So let me start taking some action here. Yeah? And even if you start with free YouTube videos like this one. And honestly, another person that really always inspires me when I'm down, when I don't know what's next, whatever, I love Tony Robbins. And I know that is very controversial, but I just recently also watched some videos from him where he helped people who were even suicidal or where that didn't feel any hope. So sometimes I just watch his documentary or videos where he is doing these interventions on YouTube. And it just, for me personally, it connects me to my purpose of, being in the same lane of work like he is. But for you, watching intervention, and it doesn't need to be Tony Robbins, can be other people. Sometimes you just need to see how somebody is getting helped out of that. Yeah. So you can just put in like addiction, intervention, or whatever, and maybe there's a coaching or maybe something. And sometimes we just need to see that it happened for other people too. And that you are not alone, even though it feels right now. But you are not your mind and you are not your emotion. Your mind tells you things all day long. Your emotions can get stuck in the same pattern over days, over weeks, over months, over years. Because if, I just spoke about this with a client today, if you keep on feeling the same emotions, let's say if you keep on thinking the same thoughts, your brain will put out the same emotional footprint on all your cells, yeah, again and again and again. Even though you may not feel sad all the time, your body feels sad because this is the narrative you're telling yourself. And that's the emotion that gets pew, 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 like put on your body all day, every day. So you need to check in with yourself and get hopeful. like, believe in yourself, because we are the first people who change our lives. We cannot wait for somebody else to save us. You have the power. You have the power. And you've got this, no matter where you are right now, you know, no matter who you are right now. There is your free will. And you deserve a life that's worth living. Even though maybe nobody ever told you that, or nobody ever made you feel like that, or just few people did. It's time for you to believe in yourself. Even if you don't have the memories, don't hold on to waiting for the memories. Feel the feelings. Let yourself be helped. And there. Okay, sweet people, that's all for today. If you want to start with something that's for free, to just acclimate your nervous system to, you know, getting in touch with your emotions, you can start by using my free emotional processing meditation. It says in the meditation, it guides you through the whole process. If it doesn't work for you the first time, try it another few times. But you know what? This is for free. So if you want to change something, why not start with that? I use it myself all the time and I find it really powerful, so why not give it a try? All right, that's all for today. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope that helped. Share in the comments below how you're feeling about the topic. Share your personal experience. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. And I see you in the next video. All my love. Bye.